When I was going through high school, I had a few relationships which didn't work out.
And we'll be working on our pull-up sit climbs and cast climbs for our conditioning.
And at the time, I was sort of like, why do I feel this way? Why do I not want to do anything? But basically, I didn't have sexual attraction to them. A lot of people, first off, think that you're a prude, for lack of a better word.
It was awesome. I see your other side.
Oh, Lord.
Yes. Got this.
I think quite often people confuse it with other things like low libido. A lot of people think, you know, you have never had a boyfriend or that you've never dated and you're just not interested and that's why you identify as ace. Or maybe you had one really bad one-night stand or one experience and it's put you off forever and so you're now asexual, whereas, you know, it's not like that at all.
Asexuality is about somebody who does not feel any physical attraction or feels little physical attraction, depending on where you are on the spectrum. But with aromanticism, it's not wanting the emotional relationship. I tell my straight friends whenever they ask me, oh, why don't you have a boyfriend yet? I say, I don't need one, I want to be single forever. And their reaction is always, oh, that's so sad. I would never want to be alone, or I find the single life depressing, which kind of surprises me because for me, the single life is normal.
Growing up, I always identified as gay, and I know that there's no right or wrong way to be gay, but I was not really relating to that demographic, and that's where I struggled. Last year, I had a breakup, so I started reading a lot about demisexuality, and I found out that there's a whole world out there that defines me, and I wasn't completely aware. In demisexuality, you kind of look for that emotional bond, but even though if you do find that emotional bond, it doesn't necessarily have to revolve around sex.
For me, that totally makes sense.
Yeah. Our queer community is so hypersexual that if you're on Grindr or if you're on Tinder, it only means one thing, that you're looking for hookups. And I really don't know where to find people with same mentality. Every time I have this conversation, it's always it's just a phase, it will pass. And I find it funny because it's very similar to how I came out as gay.
My name is Sam. I'm a single mum from Hamilton. This whole ace thing, I've always known there's something different about me, but the whole concept is very new to me. I don't know all the terms and everything, but I know that I identify as demisexual.
Going clubbing as an asexual is like going to a meat market as a vegetarian.
Yeah.
And you're not dancing to attract anyone, you're just dancing to have a great time.
The classic, they put their hand on your waist and I'm just fuck off. I know with my partner, I still to this day never experience any sexual attraction. There's not a day that I come home to him and I'm I really want to jump you. I'm just it never happens. Sometimes you just sleep with them because, or sometimes, so it's sort of you're not sex repulsed and you don't want to not touch or anything. But you still fit the asexual spectrum, but there's kind of a little bit of room to shuffle.
This is my first time ever been in a group of openly asexual people, and it's really great because most of my life I've been the odd one out for something.
I've never had a sexual relationship or a traditional romantic relationship. Growing up, I've definitely been more of a solitary person. I enjoy my own company. I used to be a hiking guide, just guiding people around Aotearoa. When you're in nature, you're just living. The trees don't put expectation on each other to be any certain way. Well, I have to read it off my phone, but because I'm still learning. This is from Ngāi Tahu, which is my iwi as well, and it's ka tangi te titi, ka tangi te kaka, ka tangi hoki aho, tihei mauri ora. And that means the titi is calling, the kaka is calling. I wish to call, behold, there is life.
So I'm in a relationship at the moment. We've been together about a year now. I don't feel like there's anything that we've kind of come across which has been an obstacle because I'm asexual and they're allosexual. I do think it's quite important as well when you're in relationships to explain about asexuality because a lot of people don't take it seriously. They'll start a relationship with you thinking that it's something that will go away or that you can change, but it's when it kind of gets to a point where they realise that it's not changeable that it sort of causes an issue. Sex and romance, they kind of get twisted to be intertwined, and a lot of people find it quite hard to separate. And there's definitely people become a little bit obsessed with needing to be sexually attracted to someone for there to be love and for things to work out.
Does it bother you that I'm ace?
No, because I mean, like, although we're different in that area, if I was with someone else, we'd probably be different in other areas as well. So I don't think it's overall something to get quite picky about.
When we actually probably went on a date was because I asked you out. And you'd said to your friends that you didn't want to say that I'd asked you out, and you told them that you were the one who asked me out, and I said yes.
It was about time because you'd left me hanging for about 3 months there, you know.
Because when did I talk to you about it?
I think like we'd probably been on a date or two at that point, and then you just dropped it into conversation just randomly. You just told me, and then you just explained what it was, and then I don't know, like it kind of took me by surprise because my only prior knowledge to it was some random Shortland Street episode. From what they said, there was just like no hand holding, no sex, no anything. So that's I guess what I originally thought you meant. So when you explained it, I realised there was different levels of it versus just like the one of physical contact, 100%. To be honest, I think you can still have a pretty good relationship as long as there's open lines of communication.
How do you feel about Dad's thoughts? Do you think he's changed in a way, or do you think he's still the same?
Well, Dad's always entitled to his own opinion.
True.
But I think the way he sees it, he prefers you to have somebody, like a soulmate, as he explains it.
Yeah.
And your happiness is more important to us than what we want.
Yeah.
Yeah. So as long as you're happy, we're all happy.
That's awesome.
Hey, babe. Oh, your hair looks pretty. Do you want to get married when you're older?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah? What kind of person would you want to marry?
Actually, I don't want to marry anyone.
You don't want to marry anyone? Why is that?
Only if it's a nice girl.
A nice girl? Definitely. They've got to be nice, eh? Growing up, my mum was always very anti-lesbian, gay, so I never delved further into my own feelings towards girls. However, since she's passed, I've had more of the freedom to be able to be more real with myself about that.
Here in Aotearoa, there is this rampant slut shaming and virgin shaming. When you're a virgin, you're looked down upon, you're considered uncool, but at the same time, when you are owning your sexuality, promiscuity is seen as a taboo.
I definitely felt as a teenager that I thought it was quite normal to get drunk, have sex, and be promiscuous. I was quite hesitant to come out in the beginning, and I still haven't told a lot of people because, I had a fear around people saying, oh, but you were a slut back in the day. Like, you can't be that. Like, I didn't want people to think it was like an attention thing.
I feel like definitely people accept homosexuality more than asexuality. It's that idea of finding someone that has perpetuated by straight people, and it has plunged into the gay community as well, because you have to find a partner and then you have to adopt kids and you need marriage equality. We're borrowing all this from straight society.
Tell us a bit about yourself and how you come to identify or think about being takatapui.
Well, I'm still exploring the term takatapui and what that encompasses, but if it's like any other Māori value or belief or terminology, it probably goes a lot deeper than any Pākehā word. So, like even when I think of panromanticism or asexuality, it still seems too surface level and too easy to make assumptions about. Whereas takatapui, I guess more like queer, the word queer I resonate with because it just seems to encompass just anything that is different.
I also struggled in the pride community. It felt like a big scary place where you had to be like super gay, and I was not that.
I don't really attend the Pride Festival just because I don't really feel a connection with certain elements, but I do feel a connection with other takatapui.
I know a lot of our young people too who are embracing their fluidity or trying to figure out who they are. Then takatapui is a space they can move within, and it's my belief that fluid sexuality and gender, including asexuality, was a normal path for our people.
There are some people out there who are all for aces being part of the queer and the larger rainbow community, and then there are others who say that aces aren't a part of that at all.
I know in the past there hasn't been a big showing in the ace community. A lot of people, I think, kind of don't really like showing their faces or putting out publicly that they identify as that.
It is a misconception that people on the ace spectrum don't fall in love because love is an essential part of being a human being. The rainbow is a spectrum. If you look at the rainbow, you can break it down into Roy G. Biv colors, but within those colors there are different spectrums, there's different shades that people shouldn't ignore.
But when ravens come to mind, we are birds portrayed in shadow, symbols of a darkened world where nothing and no one can survive. Wait a minute, that isn't true. That was a track called The Raven's World.